shall we?
How you doing?
Now let's start with the use of how. Actually, we use how to ask about manner, condition, or quality. For example, how to create a website. Do you know how to create a website? In my case, I will say that I somehow know how to create a website, but I'm not an expert. Another example, how old are you? So let me ask you something, how old are you? In my case, if you ask me, I'm gonna say I'm 29 years old. Now, how was the exam? Let's imagine that you're at school or maybe in the university, and how was the exam? Piece of cake. Or it was very easy, or it was very difficult or very hard, if you prefer to say hard instead of difficult. Or it was normal. Now, how do you go to school? Or how do you go to work? In my case, I go to work by Transmilenio. Or I can say I go to my work by bike, by metro. Let's imagine that we have metro. Now, how does it work? For example, you have a new computer and you would like to know how does it work. In my case, I don't know because I have no idea about computers. So you can say, how does it work? I don't know. Or you can say, yes, allow me to show you how does it work.
Papa, can we play outside?
No,
Why?
because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's too early.
Why?
The sun hasn't come up yet.
Why?
Because the sun comes up later.
Why?
Well, the Earth goes around, and when it turns a certain amount, the sun shows on the horizon.
Why?
Now let's move to the next part. Why? So you use why to ask about the reason. So why? Because. I'm going to switch from English to Spanish. From English to Spanish. In this case, when you ask why, you say because. In Spanish, ¿por qué? Esto pasa porque blah 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 blah. In this case, why is for questions and because is for answers. Excellent. Now, let's continue. Why was he late? Do you know what is late? Late is, for example, you wanted to see that person at 10 p.m. and then as soon as you see your watch, you will be able to see that is 11. So why was he late? Because he was in a traffic jam. Traffic jam is when you collapse on the street. When your car is on the street and you collapse, you cannot move your car because there's a lot of cars. So that thing is called a traffic jam. Why don't you want to go? For example, when you want to invite someone to do something. Let's go to the cinema. Why don't... Yeah, let's go to the cinema. No, sorry, but I can't go. Why don't you want to go? Remember, one is if you feel like with enthusiasm, let's go, very good. Well, when you say no, I don't want to go, it's because you don't feel good. So why don't you want to go? Because it is too late. What is late? For example, it's like 12 a.m. so it's too late, I don't want to go, I prefer to stay in my house, I prefer to stay at home. Why did you ask me? For example, when you have a question, hey sir, what's the answer for this question? Why did you ask me? Because I know, or because you know the answer, or because I know that you know the answer. Do you see? You ask somebody because you believe that that person already knows the answer. Excellent.
3,000 years later.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
So finally, we used when to ask about a time. In this case, when does the next bus arrive? Let's imagine that you're late and you're waiting for your bus. So you're gonna ask to someone, when does the next bus arrive? And the next person is gonna tell you at 12:15 p.m., at 1 p.m., at 1 a.m. It depends of the bus. And yeah, it depends of the schedule. Now, when are you leaving? For example, you are with your friend is living in another country, so you're gonna ask him, hey, when are you leaving? Sir, I'm gonna leave tomorrow, or maybe next month, next year, next Monday. Do you see? You are asking him or her, when are you leaving, because you wanna know the answer. Now, when should we meet? So you have a lot of enthusiasm with a person and you want to see that person, so when should we meet? And the other person can say, like, maybe next Friday, maybe this Friday, maybe next Saturday. It depends of his or her timetable. Now, when is your birthday? In my case, my birthday is on December 27. Now, let me ask you something, guys. When is your birthday? Aww.